This is Vermin Hasanovic in the Netherlands, and he says, I was wrong about The Legend of Zelda. Allow him to explain. He says, I was so wrong about Legend of Zelda on NES. In the past, I've tried to play this game a few times, but after a few screens, I lost interest and moved on. The lack of instructions didn't help. Now that the game is on the Nintendo Switch Online, I gave it another try, and boy, was I wrong. This Zelda is just great.
It's Breath of the Wild. Exactly.
I was amazed how much of the Zelda elements they got right the first time.
Hell yeah.
The sense of discovery, the items, the world, the music, the tunic changing color. Plus, you get a freaking raft. How cool is that?
The raft is cool.
This is the 2D Breath of the Wild with better dungeons.
Yeah, and you find the raft in a basement.
Okay, look. Like, you like Zelda 1 as much as you want, but who's that excited about a raft?
He's excited about it.
Why is that raft so
There's
cool?
also a whistle.
This clearly is a masterpiece.
They put in Mario 3.
And I would imagine it had the same impact on players back then as Breath of the Wild has on players today. The only issues I had was the lack of story and instructions. Maybe if I had the game's manual, this would have been a problem, but it's clear that this game was ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
I was wrong to judge this game based on a few screens. After playing through most of the game, I love it. Was there a time you had the same issue, judging a game based on a short play, finding out later that you judged it too soon?
You got to get your hands on the secret text.
Hey, I have some good news. If you want more story for Zelda, there's also an entire cartoon series.
Yeah.
Excuse me, princess.
You
Really
play,
fills in
you
a lot of
play
time.
the story in Zelda 1. Just because there's no text on screen doesn't mean there's no story. The story is he's going into a spooky haunted tree.
Yeah, he has a crazy adventure.
Yeah.
He accidentally dropped a bomb and it fell out of his pocket and it blew up and exposed a secret stairwell that goes down into the ground.
Creepy man.
I'm
gave
trying to
you
think
a
of games that I actually
sword.
actively didn't like. But then, I mean, Zelda was one of them for me. I only liked that game 20 years after it came out.
You didn't like The Legend of Zelda back in the day?
No. I played it at a friend's house a lot, and I was like, this is all right.
Oh.
But now I love it. Bionic Commando is another one.
You didn't like it right away?
I didn't get it. I was like, why can't I jump? This sucks. But now it's wonderful.
But you got a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
I was going to tell the story at Beyond Live, but I
Here we go.
didn't get to go.
Got-
I played Final Fantasy VII.
House is on fire.
My house was on fire. It wasn't, but we thought it was going to. And I played Final Fantasy VII, and I'm like, why am I telling this spiky-haired dude to attack instead of just attacking? And it was basically my first
First, like
interaction
turn-based
with
game?
with the turn-based RPG.
Huh.
And I was like, this sucks. I'm not playing this. And I just didn't play PlayStations because like he had the person who had that game also had like Legend of Dragoon. I'm like, these suck. Like, are these PlayStation games? Like,
Especially if you're
why
playing with
am
a
I
friend.
not
It's like, that's the
attacking?
worst thing ever.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks. I'm not doing this. And then eventually, like I don't know, probably a year or more later, then now I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah,
Love them.
I'm trying to think about something I've misjudged. There's definitely franchises that I feel like I waited too long to give a shot to, but I'm having a hard time.
What about Yakuza?
That's what I'm thinking of. Is like I kind of slept on that franchise for a decade.
I kind of misjudged Breath of the Wild. I didn't really like Breath of the Wild the first time I played it and didn't play it for a year. Then went back and
Man, I did really like Breath of the Wild from the jump, but
What
that is a game that's so different from everything else.
yeah,
that,
I missed all the office conversations and everything because by the time I played it, it wasn't even that long ago.
I mean, Metal Gear I never liked until 5 came out, but I tried
tried
really
that
hard. I tried 1 remake and then 3.
Twin Snakes?
I've tried several times. I even got 3 for DS, or just 3DS.
Oh,
3DS,
yeah, I forgot about
just to play it and try to figure out why people love it so much. It's a lot of people's favorite game ever.
Yeah.
And I really want to know why, and I respect that. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII. Like, I've never played that game, so I'm really curious why people have that game as their number one. So I'm open-minded to it.
I guess I would
tried
say
it.
Baldur's Gate is that for me. Although it's not quite like I played it and didn't like it. Like I recognize the excellence in it, but the game is just old enough that it's just you kind of got to be in the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
look, I just have to accept that there's certain things about this game that just are feeling a little bit dated, and once you get past that, you get immersed in the world, and it's probably one of the greatest RPGs ever made. Not probably is.
I had that experience with Assassin's Creed Origins last year.
Yeah, you
Did not
tried
grab
it.
me right away with the first few hours, and I was like, this is not clicking for me. But then like 6 months later, and then the new year, I gave it another try and was like, whoa, this is great now.
That's really cool.
Same thing.
That was like-
with Origins.
It was like,
It was too busy when it came out. Like I was playing Odyssey. and
there was a
Too
lot of
many-
games coming out at
too
the same
many
time.
video games to
But also, they really changed up the combat style in Origins, but it's
Yeah.
actually similar to God of War. So
Yeah.
after playing God
That's
of War,
interesting,
I went back to Origins, and I was like, I get this. This makes so
R1 and
more
R2,
sense.
man.
Yeah. Why am I?
Oh, I
with the
switched
trigger
them.
button. Yeah.
I went to a preview event for Odyssey, and they made you use the R1 and R2,
Yeah.
and I just
You
could
just
not
changed it.
play the game. I was terrible.
Wow.
And then, so when I got Odyssey, the first thing I did,
Origins?
no, Odyssey. first thing I did was switch the controls to square is your attack and all that good stuff.
All right.
I'm always too afraid to customize my controls.
It's time.
Gotta just go for it.
Oh, yeah. We were just doing that today
Yep.
in the video game.
Accidentally, yeah.
That's just a small taste of what we've got in store for you in this week's episode of GameScoop. For the full episode, head over to youtube.com/GameScoop and be sure to subscribe.